Section 12.2 Scatterplots. Let's jump right into one of the most powerful, revealing visual tools in all of statistics. Imagine for a second, you're Amelia. You're dead set on playing college basketball, right? So you're grinding every single week, shooting hoops, putting in those long hours. But you've got this massive critical question just weighing on your mind. Does all this practice actually equal more points in a real game? Like, how can you scientifically, mathematically prove that your hard work is actually paying off? Well, by the end of this explainer, you'll know exactly how to answer that question. We're going to see what scatterplots are, how to visually map out relationships between different variables, and we'll even walk through the exact step-by-step method to graph them right on your own calculator. The basketball prediction problem. Let's break down Amelia's data step by step and see exactly what's going on behind the scenes here. Okay, so here's the actual data Amelia recorded. Over on the left, we've got X, which represents the hours she spent practicing that jump shot. We call this the independent variable, mainly because it's the element she actively controls. On the right, we've got Y, the points she scored in a game. This is our dependent variable because we're trying to figure out if those points depend on her practice hours. Take a really close look at these numbers. Do you notice the trend? 5 hours of practice gave her 15 points. But bump that up to 12 hours and suddenly she's scoring 36 points. What we're really looking at right here are coordinates. Now let's bring in the technical term for what we just did with Amelia's data. When we take those X and Y coordinates and map them out visually on a grid, we create a scatter plot. Honestly, it's the most common and probably the easiest way to display the relation between two variables, X and Y. Instead of just staring at a static, kind of boring table of numbers, a scatter plot gives us this immediate, crystal clear visual picture of cause and effect.
The vocabulary age example. Let's cement this concept by looking at a completely different real-life analogy to show you just how universal this mathematical tool really is.
Imagine an educational researcher wants to know, does a child's vocabulary size depend on their age? In this case, the independent variable, our X, is the child's age in years. The dependent variable, our Y, is their vocabulary size, literally the actual number of words they know. Look at that shift. A 3-year-old knows about 655 words, but watch what happens by age 7, that number just explodes to nearly 3,200 words. We're mapping exactly how our dependent variable Y changes as the independent variable X goes up. Right now, I want you to just stop and ask yourself a question. And honestly, this is a crucial habit for any focused learner. When you plot data like this, what is the overall pattern? And just as importantly, are there any deviations? You really shouldn't just blindly plot the dots. Take a step back and look at the big picture. Is there a weird outlier? Does the pattern suddenly drop off or spike? Engaging with the data like this is how you actually understand it. Understanding direction and strength. You see, plotting the points is really just step 1 in our journey. Next up, we actually have to read the plot by looking at 2 fundamental characteristics. Let's talk about direction first. A scatter plot has a distinct direction. On the left side, we have a positive direction. This happens when high values of one variable happen right alongside high values of the other. Amelia's basketball practice is your perfect anchor for this. More practice equals more points. High, high. On the right side, we've got a negative direction. This is when high values of one variable pair up with low values of the other. Imagine charting hours spent playing video games versus exam scores. Usually, high video game hours mean lower exam scores. High-low. Now let's see how this builds into our next core concept, strength. The strength of a relationship is determined by how close your data points fall to a clear, recognizable mathematical shape. That could be a straight line, an exponential function, or a power function. For this specific explainer, we're really focusing on linear relationships. A strong linear relationship means the points tightly hug a straight, predictable path. They aren't just this messy random cloud of dots scattered everywhere. They form a clear, disciplined line. But wait, this is super important. There is a massive exception to the rule here, and it's a very common trap. You might ask, hey, what if the points perfectly hug a flat, horizontal line? Isn't that a strong relationship? Well, as the quote points out, a horizontal line would in fact show no relationship. Think about it logically for a second. If y stays exactly the same no matter how much x goes up or down, then x isn't affecting y at all. A flat line is literally the ultimate exception. So why does all this plotting and measuring even matter? Because it unlocks a statistical superpower called linear regression. This is the process of using the independent variable, x, to explain or predict the dependent variable, y. Once we look at our scatter plot and establish that a strong linear relationship exists, we can draw a calculated line right through it. And with that line, we can predict the future. We can mathematically predict exactly how many points Amelia is going to score if she practices for, say, 15 hours. How cool is that? Graphing with your calculator. Now that we've got the visual theory down, let's transition over to some practical application. If you have a TI-83 or TI-84 calculator lying around, go ahead and grab it, because we're going to make the math happen right on your screen. All right, I'm going to walk you through this just like we're sitting together in the classroom. Step 1, hit Stat, go to Edit, and enter your X data into list L1 and your Y data into list L2. Step 2, press that second button, then Stat Plot, select Plot 1, and make sure to turn it on. Step 3, look at your type options and highlight the very first icon. That little graph of dots? Yep, that's your scatter plot. Step 4, tell the calculator exactly where your data lives by entering L1 for X list and L2 for Y list. Step 5, highlight a mark. Quick pro tip here, the square is usually the easiest one to see on a small screen. And finally, step 6, hit Y equals and just clear out any old math equations you might have lingering in there, then press the zoom key and the number 9 for zoom stat. Boom. The calculator scales the window perfectly and visualizes your data. Summary and final thoughts. All right, let's bring this explainer into its final phase. We've covered a tremendous amount of ground today, from the core theory all the way to calculator practice. So let's do a powerful wrap-up to make absolutely sure these concepts are locked in. So, your crucial takeaways to remember are these 4 pillars. First, always identify your variables. X is your independent cause and Y is your dependent effect. Second, analyze the direction. Are you looking at a high positive relationship or a high-low negative one? Third, evaluate the strength. How closely do those scattered points actually hug a straight line? And fourth, never forget the horizontal exception. Remember, a perfectly flat line means absolutely zero relationship between those two variables. Scatter plots are your window into seeing if a relationship actually exists in the real world. But I want to leave you with this final, kind of provocative thought. Once we look at our scatter plot and we know for sure a strong linear relationship exists, how do we mathematically